We've got a robin singing over there. Let's go and see if we can catch him. I used to think I was a composer, but I've always been very keen on birdsong. And through my interest in birds, I kind of find that the line between music and science is increasingly blurred. This is a parabolic reflector, picks up the sound, directs it towards this shotgun mic, and if you're lucky and you point it straight at the bird, you can get incredibly good recordings. I remember writing a little flute sonata for my mother, or trying to, when I was about 10, in which I tried to put some of these bird songs. And I sort of gave up because I couldn't do it. We don't really have a vocabulary, a musical vocabulary for birdsong. Well, we didn't until the coming of spectrographs, which are really ideal musical scores, but we view them as more science or physics. For me, a spectrograph is a wonderful kind of tool. It's a bit of science, but it's also a bit of fantasy, and it's something that I can put any interpretation I want to on. So this is a goldcrest singing. Let's see what happens if we slow that down. Slowing them down is really important because they're so fast and so high, and that's always been a sort of barrier to our understanding of bird songs. So let's slow it right down to 1/10 of the normal speed. And it sounds rather kind of Eastern to me, Eastern Europe. Once I've slowed it down, I try and involve a performer, very often my sister Liz, who's a violinist. But for me as a composer, I would eventually put it into a musical score using the conventions of musical notation. It's got wonderful sort of asymmetric rhythms, the Goldcrest song. It's got a very gettable structure, a really catchy sort of structure. Goldcrest is one of our most effective garden birds pieces. So far we've done a series of 8 out of the slowed down songs of birds that are commonly found in people's gardens. They're a little microcosm of the process that we use, and they're very useful in schools because we do a lot of recording in school playgrounds of birdsong and then encourage the pupils to make compositions of their own. The larger framework for this is a project called Planet Birdsong, and at the moment we're working with these 6 schools in the Rutland Music Hub. You know, what I wanted to do really was play with those bird songs when I was young. So I'm very keen to share the tools that I've discovered with children so that they are able to make all those connections that I was unable to make when I was a child. The beauty of it for me is that being able to go out and just record in your own playground and immediately convert that into something that's fun to play with and experiment with opens up this extraordinary vocabulary of sounds, of which birdsong is a really important part. You know, I was brought up as a musician, but I was brought up, I wasn't a scientist, and I was rubbish at science. And I don't know that would be the case if I'd had something that transferred my enthusiasm for birdsong. I would have understood the world in a much more flexible and exciting way.